Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an Object 140. It's a Tier 10 Soviet medium tank. It's located on the south spawn of Nebelburg, which is a grand battle, and it's under the command of Comrade Sergei. Now, this is a medium tank that was supposed to replace the T-55, but actually got passed over for the Object 430 instead. Now, it's armed with a 100mm main gun, capable of doing 320 alpha, penetrating 264mm with the standard APCR, and with the premium heat rounds, it's capable of, it's not heat rounds, is it? With the premium rounds, it's capable of 330 alpha. Now, it does have fairly good figures, actually. In fact, it's one of the few Soviet tanks that actually does have gun depression. You can see that because of the way that the front plate is well angled, which enables the gun to move down 7 degrees of gun depression, and that's improved actually, because it used to be only 6 degrees, but Wargaming put it up by 1 degree, and that now makes this tank very much more capable. Well, enemy tanks in sight, a TVP T-50-51, and Comrade Sergei is trying to get into cover before that guy unloads his first magazine. Uses gun depression here, pops up over the rise, fires through the wall. Yes, he gets a hit. Standard reload time 6.33 seconds. Comrade Sergei's got it down to 5.84. Whoa, Arty rounds coming in. Yes, grand battles are more combined warfare. And yes, he's received his first hit from a GW E100, which splashed onto his tracks. Okay. He's doing a good job so far, and he just needs to use that chapel as a bit of cover, I think. TVP bounces around off his top. See, the enemy Arty is focusing on this area, and with good reason, because of course this is one of the areas where you can break through. The other one is in the city, but it looks like our team has kind of abandoned going through the town. They're letting the enemy come out the other side, and then they're going to deal with them. In the meantime, we're pushing the enemy back. Nice shot into the Viz-55. It does have good DPM, this tank. Very good shell velocity as well. 1,535 meters per second, which is actually sort of like point and shoot. But then you expect that with the APCR. It also has very good gun handling, accuracy, a strong turret armor, very strong. As you can see, it's very well rounded. Very nice shape indeed. And that's surprising that it does get 7 degrees gun depression. Of course, if you have a flattish turret, and this does have a kind of flattish turret, you'd expect the gun wouldn't move up that much against the roof of the vehicle. But he's waiting for that Viz-55 to make a mistake, push forward too far, so he can pump around in. And again, you see he's actually trying to get the Viz to poke, so you can actually pump around through the side armor. Just remember, on the Viz-55, all that was a direct hit, and it looks like, well, we can't see precisely, but I think it did hit the tracks maybe, and that's what tracked him. Yes, that GW E100 is specifically going for Comrade Sergei at the moment. But yes, the Viz-55 does have weakish armor on the side, and that's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for that guy to poke up at our teammates, and then obviously he can pump around into his side. He's going for the rock this time. That's better. It'll give him a bit more protection from that GW, and now the UDIS has gone all in, which means Comrade Sergei can go all in, and whoa! Right over the top of him. Unfortunately, he takes a round from an enemy Object 140 as well. Firing on the move, trying to get away from that 140, but there, he does get one in there and leaves him on a one shot for the UDIS to kill. But the UDIS, well, the UDIS push that move, and unfortunately he goes down, but, well, the Wizzy takes a kill as well, or gets killed. And now's the Arty, well, because he's moving forward so quickly, the Arty's not able to re-aim fast enough, and so they are moving up on the enemy team, and the enemy team are falling back, because there's no way they can stay up whilst this group of mediums are actually moving in. Batchat 25 ton behind him, The Leopard we saw moving from one position to the next. Now, somewhere around here, there is an AMX 13105. We can see a Badger off in the distance, but where's that AMX 13105? Well, we can't see him at the moment. There's our Batchat. And we just spotted the enemy Arty that kept on pestering him. And he does get hit, but only in the tracks. He pumps one in the GW, but he gets absolutely hammered by a 60 TP. And now Badger's thumped him as well, but the Badger's a one-shot. Now, is that on his rear or on his front? It looks to me like he's aiming at his front, actually. And he's just bounced around from the 60 TP. Blind firing at the Badger. He gets him! He took him out. So he just needs to back off to let that 60 TP lose sight of him and lose interest. He's going to try and get to the other side. There's the 60 TP. He's up on the rise. The GW E100 is still alive, but not for long. We've got a shot. And he's out the game. So that's payback for all those shots he fired. We're moving up on the 60 TP, who's had to reposition himself. And he's actually busily engaged at the moment, trying to kill our Centurion Action 10, I think it is. And we've been spotted, so we had to pull back there. Because we're down to 96 hit points, which makes Comrade Sergey, a one-shot. He keeps poking. I'm pretty sure that 60 TP's far too bothered with the Centurion and the Batchat to be aiming at Comrade Sergey, but he's just trying to be cautious. The Batchat's going up there. He might be able to spot that 60 TP before he takes a shot. And I think he has pulled back, so I think we can get a move on. Yes, he has pulled back. Definitely pulled back. Just got the side of the E100 over there, but no, can't get a shot. A clean shot, it bounced off the turret. Now, he might be taking a bit of a risk here, because obviously, if that 60 TP was to come forward in the position he's in at the moment, he could actually spot Comrade Sergey and shoot him in the side. But there's an E4 here as well, and they're both firing at the E100, and the E100's gone. So, time to move on. The 60 TP, I think we've got some payback for him. It'd be nice if we could go in behind him, but there's a T-57 up ahead. There's only 5 enemy tanks left. This game is almost over. And he's had a very good game so far. Object 261 takes a round for 350. That's a high roll. Go for his kill shot. Yes, he gets it. There's an FV4005 there, the Heshbahn, as I like to call it. Other people call it something else, but I don't call it that because, after all, that tank was designed to use Hesh. And now we've got an enemy Arty in sight. So Batchat, he's gone. Now, can we come up behind the 60 TP and give him a good dose of surprise rear penetration? Yes, maybe he's going to start pegging like a certain prince. And he's out the game, and that's it. He's won the game with that shot. Comrade Sergey wins it. Well, we haven't featured a grand battle for a while. Most of the time it's Arty in a grand battle, but this one was a tank, and a medium tank at that. It was a first-class tanker for Comrade Sergey in the Object 140. In fact, it was his first-class tanker. Still not got an ace, but he will get there eventually. He got a fire effect for doing more damage than hit points for his own vehicle. He got an Expert UK because he took out all, or has destroyed all of the researchable vehicles of the British line in that game. The tank that he took out was the Badger, and so obviously that was the last one that he intended to do. He also got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a Hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from at least 4 different enemy tanks. On top of that, he killed 3 enemy SPGs in that game. Yes, he managed to kill a GW E100. He also managed to get the Object 261. And who else did he kill? I thought that was for 3 Arty. Maybe I'm mistaken. There was another one? Yes, there was 2 GW E100s he took out. That's why. And he also got a Spartan medal as well for surviving a ricochet or non-penetrating shot when he had less than 10% of his hit points left. And look at that win rate, 3,383, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in that game because that went to a batch at 25 ton. 5,549 hit points. That guy certainly knows how to use his bat chat. And the second highest damage was that Centurion Action 10, who didn't survive the battle, actually. He probably had an encounter with that 60 TP and finally got nuked. He got 4,981 hit points. We can see a little further down the table, Comrade Sergey got 2,873. When it came to kills, the top scorer was an Object 140. Comrade Sergey, yes, he got 7 kills in that game. There's no Top Gun in this game because, of course, it's a grand battle. But yes, he did get 7 kills. 4 kills went to the AMX M454, and 3 kills went to the Centurion Action 10, and that's 1, 2, 3 in the number of kills in that game. So he got the highest number of kills. That's an achievement. He also got the best XP in that game as well. 1,216 went to Comrade Sergey, 1,148 went to the AMX M454, and finally we got the AMX 13105 on his team, picking up a Confederate on 1,097. There was another player who also got over 1,000. That was that bat chat, the guy who got the highest damage in the game. He got 1,003, and that lot was the quadruple group of players who actually managed to get over 1,000 base in the game. So they were the ones who were playing the best in the game, and Comrade Sergey was right at the very top of them. He fired 18 shots, 16 direct hits on the enemy, 12 penetrations, 2,873 hit points of damage, of which 693 were at more than 300 meters. He did receive 7 hits from the enemy in the game, 3 of which penetrated, 3 non-penetrations, and 5 hits by way of splash damage. Most of those came from the Arty, who was desperately trying to knock him out, and with good reason. The Object 140 is quite a dangerous medium tank. It's almost as dangerous as the Object 430, which is why it should be focused on by enemy Arty. If you see one on the enemy team, you really need to put them down or keep them harassed so they can't do anything, because if they do get a move on, then you can suffer serious damage. He blocked damage of 1,550 hit points in that game, spot 3 enemy vehicles, damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 7, did 4,183 hit points of spotting assist in that game. It's a huge amount, because of course he was allowing his teammates to get damage from a distance. Now, on a free-to-play account, he actually suffered a loss of 24,246 credits, but he did actually, he did get a good total, but it seems here that ammunition-wise, I can't believe that he did use that much in the way of premium ammo. I think he stuck to standard ammo throughout the battle, so I'm a bit surprised as to why he actually suffered a loss from this game, because he came up with 74,000, and between them, that's about 60,000's worth. So I'm just curious as to why the figures are actually coming out wrong there. Just doesn't seem right. It should have been that he actually came out with a profit. But anyway, we'll say that he got 7 bonds as well, because it was tier 10, of course, and he took away 3,040 experience points. Again, I think it's because he did get a double ×2 for the first victory on that day. So a reasonably fast grand battle, because it only lasted about 8 minutes in total. But it shows that Comrade Sergey is well on the way to getting an ace tanker in this vehicle. And of course, because the Object 140 is quite a good tank, or a very decent tank indeed, he is actually going to be one of those people who actually gets top awards at the end of the games, because he is so good. And yes, he's very flexible, very mobile, and he was using this tank and his gun depression to good effect. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.